In sports, the number one goal that drives every athlete is winning. Even when teams are terrible and have a slim chance of winning, it's still their job to go out and play their hearts out.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
In auto racing, it's exactly the same, but there is a key difference. There are some teams that are never going to win, yet they are still out there. While it may be a harsh reality, backmarkers, lappers, slow cars, roadblocks, moving chicanes, or whatever you want to refer to them as, have the oddest existence in racing.
I got really boxed in behind lap cars and got really slow. And was able to lead all those laps, and if it wasn't for lap traffic, it wouldn't even have been a race. I don't know what y'all are whining about, but if you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
Many people don't understand why you would possibly suit up every week just to run 35th 10 laps down. Yet, a lot of people find them admirable and charming in a way. Racing imitates life and pop culture in a sense. Oftentimes, we find ourselves escaping into a world where superheroes exist, or dream of a reality where we're the top 1%. The harsh reality is, for the common man, that's just not in the cards. You work and grind your ass off every day of the week just to get the same paycheck to barely make ends meet. This is exactly the same as the underdogs in the NASCAR garage. Working to the bone just for suboptimal results, one day hoping to be the heroes in the garage. One of the modern underdog teams in NASCAR is Jordan Anderson Racing, a team that started in 2018 when team owner Jordan Anderson took matters into his own hands to run his own truck team. He would almost score a victory twice in back-to-back season openers at Daytona in 2020 and 2021. While he never got to experience his own one as a driver, he did get one as an owner with Jeff Burton at Talladega in 2023, just 2 years after the team had made the jump to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The move has been successful for the team, and they've slowly grown to being on the cusp of one of the hero teams in the Xfinity garage. At the recording of this video, the team has attempted to field 4 cars in the races at Rockingham and Talladega. Only 3 of their cars made it into the field for both races, but they have still grown tremendously as an organization. However, one sad truth lies behind this rise to becoming a hero for the team. Like in most hero movies, oftentimes the hero leaves behind a trail of collateral damage in their rise to glory. This is no different for Jordan Anderson Racing. The team's promotion in 2021 led to the slow demise of another underdog team in the field, MBM Motorsports. In 2025, MBM finally managed to qualify for a race for the first time this season at Talladega. If you turn the clock back to 2021, MBM was the team with 3 cars in the field while Anderson just had 1. How did it get this way? I'll tell you.
Goddamn, close your mouth. This one is useless, turn another. You can't hold me down. So if you love me like you say, then you should show me now. You say you love me, but you never really show me out. You're fooling over.
2021 was a hybrid year of sorts for NASCAR. It was a mixture of both COVID-style weekend procedures and the traditional NASCAR weekend procedures. For a select few races, NASCAR would have practice and qualifying, while others would just be weekends of unloading off the truck and racing. This meant for the Xfinity Series, owner points would be more important than ever before, especially as NASCAR planned to shrink the Xfinity field size down from the 40 they allowed the year prior to 36. Or at least that was the plan until qualifying rained out at Daytona. NASCAR called an audible and declared that 40 cars would be the field size for races without qualifying, due to them not being able to set the field in a fair way at Daytona. At least I should say fair to the teams that had owner points from the year prior, as because Jordan Anderson had no owner points from the year before as he was running a brand new team, he got sent home. This meant that the only time the 31 team could make the field was be on weekends that had qualifying. This meant we wouldn't see that team until the 11th race of the year at Circuit of the Americas. In the meantime, we will focus on one of the 3 entries MBM has in the field. It just so happens to be the Jordan Anderson Racing number, but flipped, the 13. Chad Fincham was behind the wheel of the car at Daytona. He would avoid disaster on lap 76, narrowly avoiding the number 1 of Mike Lynette coming across his nose of his number 13 Ford Mustang. Fincham was not as lucky avoiding trouble on lap 106.
It almost worked, and it just didn't. Couldn't get clear, tried to, spun out. And Daniel Henry, he didn't do anything wrong there. I mean, it was just, he was along for the ride. Unfortunately, tore a lot of cars up right there.
And the hard part for Ty is he lost that push from Barry. There's a whole car separation. He gets that run and loses him, and then just before he clears Hemrick, that's where he loses that momentum and doesn't have the push to finish that pass.
He would end the day 30th. The Daytona Road Course saw tons of teams opting to run under the owner points of another team. At Daytona, R Motorsports missed the field with their number 03 entry, but this week would run as the number 99 under BJ McLeod Motorsports. The Rayum brothers opted to do the same with Natalie Decker under RSS Racing's owner points they had from the number 23 that made the race at Daytona. Jordan Anderson opted to not do this. The team was planning on getting back into the top 40 in owner points in the 2 races that they could run in 9 weeks. If the team ran for another backmarker team, they would be inadvertently hurting their chances to make the top 40. Cutting back to MBM in the 13, they had David Starr pilot the car at the road course. The race would be a disaster, however, as a transmission failure took them out of the running after 20 laps, resulting in a 38th place finish. At Homestead, the 13 car would be a major talking point of the race, and would create a memorable moment in that race, but for all the wrong reasons.
I mean, the way the 9 car is acting, they just got it all under control. There's no sweat.
Hey, Jeremy Clements is 7th. He's the only driver.
Oh, no!
Into the lap car. That's the 13 of David Starr. Huge damage for Noah Gregson.
Oh, my
and the caution is out.
Again,
Heartbreak.
2 races last year. He dominates the race, leads the most laps, and doesn't walk away with a trophy. And we see it again.
I'm about ready to start throwing chairs up here. What just happened?
How does that happen?
Oh, my
unbelievable.
goodness. What happened to David Starr to slow up that much where Noah couldn't see what was coming up from ahead? Wow. Devastation.
Huge disappointment again this week for Junior Motorsports. Allgaier in the garage. Annette was making the pit stop as the caution comes out, and now from the lead, Noah Gregson. Heavy damage. He climbs from the car. Once again, he's going to see one get away at the Homestead Miami Speedway.
What are you going to do? You got dipshits in the way every single week, but very thankful for Johnny Morris and Bass Pro Shops.
While most people would agree with Noah about the dipshits running in the back, many would actually overlook the full picture. When Noah was coming up to lap David Starr before his tire failure, Starr was actually still on the lead lap. In fact, he was running 12th. Unfortunately, the fast race car MBM had brought was torn up and finished 21st. What was worse about the incident is that the team planned to bring that car to Las Vegas the following week. It probably also would have had top 15 speed, but it was too damaged for the team to fix in time. At Vegas, Starr would finish 29th. MBM would let the Rayum brothers field a car for Loris Hezemans under the team's number 13 owner points at Phoenix. Hezemans would finish 31st. Fincham would take back over in Atlanta, but he would finish 39th after retiring due to brake issues. At Martinsville, Matt Jaskell would pilot the number 13 and he would wheel the car to a 28th place finish. At the same time, Josh Berry would score his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series victory. A win for the underdogs in a sense, as he went from a weekly short track racer discovered by Dale Jr. on NR 2003 to a NASCAR Xfinity Series winner. At Talladega, MBM would loan out their owner points again, but this time to RSS Racing and Jason White. White scored a top 10 finish at Daytona, finishing in 10th, so the team hoped for a similar result heading into Dega, as the 13 sat towards the bottom of the list in owner points. Unfortunately, White had suspension issues that caused the team to finish 39th. Jaskell took back over at Darlington, but was only able to muster a 34th place finish. He ran again at Dover, but finished 39th due to a crash 56 laps into the race.
One of the cars as it was flying.
So there goes Jesse Little spinning. Josh Williams spins to the outside, and then here comes Jaskell in the 13, and just so much momentum gets him up on top of the 78.
And that's where if you get just a little bit of a tap from behind, you're gone at this track. It is so hard to be able to steer it and save it. One car spinning inside.
Now is when the battle between MBM and Jordan Anderson Racing commenced at COTA. Anderson hired Cup Series rookie at the time and two-time Xfinity Series champion Tyler Reddick to drive his number 31. MBM tapped road course ringer Boris Said. Said and the 13 team had mechanical issues during the race and finished the race multiple laps down in 31st, while Reddick and the 31 scored an 8th place finish plus 9 stage points due to a runner-up finish in Stage 2. The stage was then set for Charlotte. Jordan Anderson Racing would have to make up 21 points on the 13 team to take 40th and Oder points from them. This meant for MBM that they would have to make sure that they make the field and have a solid run. The team readied their best driver, Timmy Hill, to do battle in the 13. That was until Wednesday. MBM's reality was shattered. Jordan Anderson found a loophole in the rules. NASCAR's system guaranteed any race winners automatic entry into the field, even if they were driving for a team outside the top 40 in owner points. So, since Josh Berry wasn't planning on running Mid-Ohio as he was only on a part-time schedule with Junior Motorsports that season, Jordan Anderson hired him to drive the 31. This now meant that MBM wasn't racing to keep 40th in owner points. They would actually need to jump to 39th to ensure themselves in the field at Mid-Ohio. There was just one problem with that. They sat 26 points behind the 52 car for Jimmy Means Racing. With reality quickly setting in for the team, they swapped their driver lineup back to Timmy in the 66, and Chad Fincham would drive the 13. After qualifying, Fincham and the 13 team made the field. So did the 31 of Tyler Reddick. The 52 of Gray Gaulding, however, missed the show. So the scenario was set. Chad Fincham, who hasn't driven a stock car in 2 months and 1 week, is now tasked to somehow bring his car home in 10th. The chaos in this race has somehow managed to put Fincham into position to pull off the upset on the final restart. He currently sits 11th with 7 laps to go. All he needs to do is gain one more spot and hold on, and he does the impossible. Despite their best efforts, Fincham and the 13 team would finish 15th, missing the 39th spot in points by 4 points. The 13 wouldn't race for the rest of the year apart from Stephen Light making the field at Road America. After Charlotte, the 31 team would never miss the field again that year, and the rest was history. MBM slowly has downsized and made the field less and less as time has gone on since that year. As for the 52 team of Jimmy Means, it was almost a blessing that they got to run the rest of that 2021 season, as the team would shut down at the conclusion of the season. Anyways, that does it for this video. As always, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all for my next video. Have a good one.
Down to the 2, down to the 2.
Gets the block in, Joey.
And Jim's doing a great job. He's doing a good job of defending that. He's going to want to keep him too wide back there. One of them gets single file, the run's going to be big. Jeb's way out there again.
One more big run coming to the start-finish line.
Watch that 48 in the outside lane.
Watch the 2.
Here they come, back through the tri-oval. Garrett Smithley is spinning. They're racing back to the checkers. Will the caution come out at the line? It's Jeb Burton. And the caution is waving. Jeb Burton with his second career win at Talladega, and it's the first for Jordan Anderson Racing. How about that?
What a great story. I'm so excited for Jordan Anderson and Jeb Burton, but everything that Jordan went through last year with his injury from the crash, to come back